The moonlight danced on black waters as silence ruled the sea. Captain Jack Sparrow's compass spun wildly, even it seemed afraid. A fog rose, thick and golden, hiding something that should have stayed buried. Crewmen whispered of a ship made of cursed treasure, the Aurelia. They said every soul who chased her glow turned to gold alive. Jack grinned, tipping his hat. Gold that kills? Sounds profitable. The wind moaned like laughter from another world, and from the mist came the ringing of ghostly chains. The sun was high and ruthless, casting a blinding brilliance over the open sea. Waves danced with calm mischief beneath the black pearl, and gulls wheeled lazily above, all signs of a deceptively perfect day. Captain Jack Sparrow stood at the bow, his coat whipping dramatically in the breeze, boots planted wide like he owned the ocean itself. One hand gripped the rail, the other holding his famously unreliable compass, which now spun in feverish circles as if possessed. "She's near," Jack muttered, squinting into the haze ahead. Or drunk, could be both. Ahead, the sea shimmered unnaturally, not from sunlight, but from something glowing beneath the mist. A thick fog rolled slowly toward them, golden in hue, sparkling like powdered treasure dissolved in the air. It swallowed the horizon, stretching high like a wall of light. The crew murmured nervously, eyes wide, clutching cutlasses they didn't know if they'd need. "Captain," Gibbs called from behind. "That's no natural fog." Jack turned, face solemn for a breath, then tilted his head and grinned. "Good. Nature's terribly boring." He stepped forward without hesitation, raising his arms. "Onward, lads, into the golden mist of mystery and madness." The fog wrapped around them like velvet, warm and thick, the air suddenly heavy with the scent of old coins and burnt rum. The sunlight dimmed as they passed through, filtering gold through the sails. Shadows twisted in the fog, and for a moment a skeletal hand reached out toward the hull, then vanished. "See that?" one crewman shouted. "Shoo," another whispered. "It's the ghost ship, the Aurelia, cursed vessel of the dead and drowned." Jack didn't flinch. He was watching the mist with a predator's eye. "A ship made of gold," he murmured, "sailing the fog forever, never docking, never aging." He touched the golden skull that had mysteriously appeared at his feet, still wet, barnacled, and grinning. Something about it made even the bravest man aboard step back. Jack picked it up and winked. "Now that's a welcome gift." Suddenly, the fog parted just enough to reveal a towering silhouette ahead, a ship carved in gold, glowing faintly like fire beneath the waves. Jack smiled. "Hello, darling." The Aurelia loomed like a nightmare carved in gold, a warship forged from cursed treasure, sails shredded, but billowing with an unseen wind. Her hull shimmered in the mist, etched with ancient markings, skulls embedded into her design like trophies. She made no sound, no creak of wood nor whisper of rope, only the strange, rhythmic clinking, like coins tumbling endlessly. The black pearl coasted up alongside, eerily silent. No cannon fire, no resistance, just an open gangplank inviting them aboard. "Trap," Gibbs said flatly, eyeing the ship. "Obviously," Jack replied cheerfully, adjusting his hat. "Let's spring it." He stepped onto the gangplank without hesitation, boots echoing with a strange metallic ring. The crew followed reluctantly, weapons drawn, every step heavier than the last. Jack alone walked lightly, like he belonged there. The deck of the Aurelia was breathtaking and horrifying. Life-size statues lined the railings and walkways, all solid gold. Frozen men, women, pirates, mid-scream, some shielding their faces, others clutching treasure. One had golden tears on his cheeks. Another held a still-beating gold heart in his palm. These were men, whispered Marty. Turn to treasure. From the captain's quarters emerged a figure, tall, regal, and wrong. His face was half-rotted, half-gleaming metal, eyes glowing like molten lava. He wore a tattered admiral's coat trimmed in gold lace, and a sword that shimmered like glass fire. Ghostly chains dragged behind him, clinking with each step. I am Captain Alaric Goldbane, he declared, voice echoing with the weight of centuries. And this is my vault of souls. Jack offered a mock bow. Captain Jack Sparrow, collector of poor decisions and fine rum. Alaric's eyes narrowed. You've come for the Aurelia. You want her gold. Gold, legend, possibly a new hat, Jack shrugged. I'm open-minded. Then wager your soul, Alaric growled. Find the ship's heart by dawn, or be gilded in eternity. Silence fell. Even the fog seemed to pause. Jack looked around at the frozen statues, then at his crew's pale faces. He grinned. Well, he said, clapping his hands, nothing like a good impossible death race on a haunted ghost ship. You're on. Alaric vanished in a burst of golden mist. The gangplank fell away. The game had begun. Below deck, the Aurelia was a maze of madness. Its corridors pulsed with a dull, golden light, like veins of cursed treasure running through the ship's spine. The air was thick with heat and whispers, voices promising endless wealth, echoing from nowhere and everywhere. Captain Jack Sparrow strolled forward, arms loose at his sides, eyes darting to every shadow. Behind him, Gibbs limped nervously, cradling his half-bandaged hand where golden dust had burned through his skin minutes ago. This place don't follow the laws of nature, Gibbs muttered. Jack glanced at a door that had just shifted to the ceiling and nodded. Neither do I. Statues lined the halls, half-melted pirates with gold creeping up their limbs like vines. The deeper they went, the stranger it became. Gravity twisted, staircases circled back on themselves, and ghostly sirens flickered in the walls, singing songs only Jack could understand. One corridor was filled with floating gold coins that spun in midair. Jack stepped lightly between them, never touching. Gibbs wasn't so lucky. His coat brushed one, and the floor beneath him gave way to a pit of golden teeth. Jack snatched him back with one hand and wagged a finger. No touching. Rule 1 in cursed treasure hunting. Spectral pirates appeared around them, not attacking, but watching. Their translucent forms whispered in languages long lost. Jack, ever the performer, bowed and twirled through the trap-filled chambers like he was at a royal ball. Come now, he sang out. This ship's got a heart, and I've got a date with it. He used mirrors from a broken captain's cabin to reflect golden light and reveal hidden doors. In a room full of treasure chests, he ignored the most ornate one and opened the smallest, finding a glowing compass needle that pointed downward. Grinning, he bit it like a coin and spat. Authentic, tastes like doom. As they descended deeper, the ghost of a child pirate appeared, holding out a cracked hourglass. Without thinking, Jack took it and the ship groaned. Now what did you do? Gibbs asked. Jack looked at the hourglass, where sand now flowed upward. Started the clock, he said. Behind them, the walls of the Aurelia began to close. Deep in the belly of the Aurelia, where even echoes feared to go, Jack Sparrow found the final chamber. The walls were slick with molten gold, pulsing with unnatural warmth. Intricate pirate glyphs shimmered and shifted like they were alive, retelling silent stories of betrayal and greed. The air crackled, thick with magic, heavy with judgment. At the center hovered a molten sphere, suspended in midair, rotating slowly, the heart of gold. It throbbed like a living thing, radiating power, beauty, and madness. Jack stepped forward, breath caught between awe and caution. There you are, he whispered, eyes wide. The world's most cursed paperweight. As he reached for it, chains burst for the shadows, slamming across the floor. A blast of ghostly wind howled through the chamber, and with it came Captain Alaric Goldbane, eyes ablaze, sword gleaming like sunlight through storm clouds. "You would touch my heart?" Alaric thundered. Jack tilted his head, hands still hovering inches from the orb. "Only if it's single." The ghost captain charged. Steel met phantom steel in a clash of fire and fury. Jack danced, ducked, and twisted through the golden mist, sword flashing like lightning. Alaric moved with terrifying grace, untouchable, unstoppable. Each strike sent coins flying. Each step melted gold into glass beneath him. "You can't win, mortal." Alaric roared. "This ship is mine." Jack blocked, then grinned. That's what she told the last bloke. With a sudden feint, Jack rolled between Alaric's legs and hurled the hourglass he'd taken earlier at the heart. Time shattered. The hourglass burst into blinding light. The molten orb spasmed, and for one moment it flickered. Alaric shrieked. Jack took his shot. He tossed his compass, still spinning madly, straight into the heart. The orb exploded with a shockwave of gold and flame. The chamber cracked. The glyphs wept molten symbols. Ghostly screams echoed from the walls as the ship began to collapse inward, dragged into its own heart. Alaric lunged, but Jack jumped for the upper catwalk, catching a rope and swinging upward with wild laughter. "Sorry, mate, I don't do forever." Below, the heart of gold imploded, taking the ghost captain with it. The Aurelia was dying. The Aurelia sank in a blaze of golden light, swallowed by the sea, with a final wail that echoed across the waves. Where it vanished, the ocean shimmered not with fire, but with molten gold, spreading like spilled sunlight across the surface. Captain Jack Sparrow floated alone in a lifeboat, soaked, bruised, and grinning like a man who'd just outdrunk death. A half-empty bottle of rum bobbed beside him. He scooped it lazily and toasted the horizon. "Farewell, Goldbane," he muttered. "And thanks for the souvenirs." His eyes drifted down. The reflection staring back shimmered strangely, his skin faintly gilded, hands glinting with a subtle golden hue beneath the salt water. Not solid, not cursed, but marked. Jack blinked. "Well, that's new." Behind him, the sky was clearing. The mist had lifted. Far on the edge of the horizon, the silhouette of the Black Pearl waited, sails full, loyal, and unmoved. Jack leaned back, letting the sun warm his face. "I suppose that counts as a win," he said aloud, "assuming I don't wake up as a statue tomorrow." He pulled out his compass. It pointed nowhere, or everywhere. Typical. With a sigh and a smirk, Jack raised his bottle one last time. To cursed gold, ghost ships, and mornings after. The sea glimmered, the wind returned, and Captain Jack Sparrow drifted on, half man, half myth, and entirely trouble.